Okay, so Mr. URSUS. Is that his boss name? I don't know. Anyway, so I got around to farming these runes because I have been told that this one, I think it's this one? Yeah, the one that grants defense break, right? Apparently that's like the new absolute meta when it comes to lots of like attack speed units, archers, right? So yeah, I've been getting around to grinding those, and for a whole day I've been building a team that could farm this successfully, right? I tried it on Ordia, I tried it on Cleave, I tried like 10 or 15 different units, and I finally found a team that works, at least for me, the best, right? So this is the team, Celestia. What a mummy, by the way, the return of the Nat 3 King. And Huaki, right? And of course, as well as my Water Cleave. And I'll explain why Water Cleave, because I feel like Water Cleave is... I've said it before, I said it like last year, but if you are struggling with a dungeon, the debuffs Water Cleave provides is just so broken. Weaken attack, attack speed down, more attack down here. It also gives you crit damage down on your squishiest unit, right? And if that's not enough, this is a defense break, right? So this is more of an offensive skill. But even if you're struggling there, there's another safety skill which will also give you level 2 damage dealt down. And this one, again, if your cleave is like weaker and you're copying this team, right, I would suggest you getting this. But if you feel like your cleave is good enough, I mean, my cleave is nowhere near like super OP, right? Like, it's a good cleave. It has decent crit damage, it has decent accuracy, decent tanky stats, right? But there's definitely better cleaves out there. I mean, I'm using Season 1 accessories still. But yeah, if you're struggling with keeping your cleave alive, I would also recommend using this skill for this dungeon, because you have like 80% uptime on the damage dealt down, which level 2, I think, yeah, it lowers the whole boss's damage by 33%. So again, you're cutting like a third of the damage down. It also has this energy of water, which means that first of all, he will freeze the target, which you do need a CC effect for this boss, and I'll try to explain how it works in a bit. But also, whenever you're attacked, there's always a chance to freeze, so that freeze is very consistent. And once you feel like you're safe enough, I do recommend going back to this, because it's just more of an defense break if you need it, right? And now for the monsters themselves. So Celestia, I mean, it's really there just to cycle the other two, right? If I had Eleonora, I would probably use her. Unfortunately, I don't, so I'm sticking with Celestia for now. She does have a maxed out artifact. She has like K runes. I mean, I haven't changed those runes since like last year as well. So yeah, decent Celestia, nothing groundbreaking there, right? Wahi, it's my regular damage dealer set. Maybe a little bit. Is there some HP? I don't even know. No, it's double attack, so it's just HP from substats. It's also running this artifact, and I know there is a Huaki artifact. Unfortunately, I was not able to get it myself, right? Because I missed out on it when it released. If you have a Huaki artifact, I believe the legendary artifact also has a stun on her second skill, which makes it even better for this dungeon. So if you do have it, I recommend using that. And now Water Monkey. So this guy is on Despair, tanky set. You can be squisher, you don't need to be this tanky. I switched it to like 80 or 90k HP build when I was testing, and it worked as well. It's just the preset that I have, so I just stuck with it, right? And yeah, the way this dungeon works, at least from what I understood, right? There will be stuff like buff strips, there will be stuff like debuff transfers, all of that, so you shouldn't be bringing immunity, right? Because it will be difficult to counter the boss. But yeah, every certain time, I'm not sure how often, feels like, I don't know, 7 to 10 seconds, the boss will have this murderous buff, right? And this one can only be removed with a sleep, stun, or a freeze, right? And what it does is it increases his damage as well as decreases the damage he takes, right? But even with several stacks of that buff, you can see that when Watercleave gets his way, weaken attack speed down, even the second skill, the new one, if you manage to get it, it's gonna be hell for the boss, right? And yeah, so Watercleave is the reason why I'm able to do this, because he just lowers the damage so much. I tried the same team with a Dark Orbia, with a Water Orbia. It was nowhere near as safe. Like, it worked, but it only worked like 80% of the time, so you can try to use it. But yeah, Watercleave, highly recommended, even if the build is not anywhere as good as mine, right? Now, for the basic principle of why this works, first of all, if you're not familiar with the Water Mummy skills, I think when it comes to CC effects, at least stun, freeze, and sleep, right? This unit is the most consistent one, because he will freeze on both of his skills. His skill cooldowns are extremely low. You can see 20 seconds on this one, 40 seconds on this one. You can also run this as Soul Link if you want even more safety. Right? I tried it out. Your damage will be way lower because you're not able to spam Celestia, especially if you don't plan on using her, right? So you can also spam this, because the freeze happens on his passive, and the freeze is 90% rate, so it will freeze 9 out of 10 times as long as you have the accuracy, right? And it works on both skills, so you can imagine with these short cooldowns plus Celestia constantly cycling him, he will be able to get that freeze off pretty much like permanently, right? Like you can see, he uses the skill and he freezes again, right? Like any skill freezes, and this makes the boss quite easy to sustain because the buff will usually not even be there. I also put him on Despair so that he can also remove another stack just in case he manages to get a Despair stun. Because keep in mind, he's cycling those turns very often, right? And even with just 17% chance to stun, I believe that is the chance for Despair runes, you can see like the stun is landing. The stun is landing, and it will land at least like once or twice per game, making the dungeon even easier, right? So yeah, when it comes to taking care of that buff, there will be 2 phases. I think it's like at 50%, and whenever the boss is at 0%, he'll do this, right? He'll transform, he'll leave his shadow, and he'll have a CC shield, which means again you have to apply a CC in order to remove it, right? Most of the time, the Water Mummy will take care of it. As you can see, he just uses for his skill, apply the freeze, and it's done. Even if you don't, the cool thing about Watercleave is he is actually just able to make you sustain all the damage, right? From what I tested, even if you fail that phase, like you fail to beat it in time, he will be able to take care of it. And yeah, that's just the basic principle of how it works. Quacky is there for healing and for damage. She's like my main damage dealer. I haven't seen the DPS charts, but she should be at the top because, again, she's a very underrated damage dealer, right? I know a lot of people rate her as a buffer, but her damage on that second skill is actually pretty insane, especially once you add the Celestia cycling into it, right? And yeah, just to check the safety of the team, we can leave this running in the background, right? I will showcase one of the recordings that I did the other day. And yeah, so here's the runs that I did. It was recorded on mobile, so the quality is a bit lower, right? But yeah, I ran 99 times to check the accuracy, to check the win rate, and hey, that's a pretty good win rate, is it not? Yeah, 99 wins, 0 losses. This team is not 100%. I ran another 50 after this, and I think I lost once or twice. I'm not sure how many I lost legitimately, because I know I heard there's been a bug with this dungeon, and I think in a few runs I've seen the bug happen, so I don't know if I lost to that bug or not, right? For the dungeon speed though, this is definitely not like a speed team. It's not like those 10 to 20 second clears with like Perna Kamiya that people like to do, right? This is like a regular safe team, but it's also not too slow, right? So based on the times, I think I should show the times in just a second. Based on the times I've seen, it ranges anywhere between 55 seconds to around a minute 30, right? Like you can see a few runs that are like 58 seconds, exactly a minute. So like it can beat a little bit faster, but it also gets those edge runs where, let's say, in rare occasions, Huaki might die, right? Which makes the run take a little bit longer. But the success rate is something I'm very happy with. The runtime is not bad either. I mean, pop the 99 runs and leave the phone for 2 hours. Just come back once it's done, right? I mean, some of you AFK overnight, so doing this is not an issue at all, I think. But yeah, the team is pretty good. I really like it. Let's see if it lost here. Nah, you can see like 59 seconds, minute 6, minute 13, minute 30, right? Yeah, I found the water mummy to be the most consistent. For units that I tried, right? So I tried the water monkey. I tried Verad. I think Verad is like the second best after water mummy. I just found that he doesn't have enough CC compared to water mummy, but he does have the damage, which makes it a little bit better for like faster runs. He would reach like 50 seconds, 45 seconds, but also he would fail a bit more than the water mummy, right? So I tried Verad, I tried the water monkey. I actually tried the wind monkey as well, because I thought the stuns could be pretty good. He stuns with this, he stuns with no, he stuns with this, and he stuns with passive, right? And the passive activates every 7 seconds as well. That was just not enough stuns for me. It was good damage, but it was not enough stuns for me personally. And hell, I even went a pay-to-win round that tried this guy for stuns, right? And it was decent. Like, it always stacked the level 10 defense break. It usually stacked the stun when there was a defense break, but he had trouble landing the defense break very consistently, because a lot of the skills like to push you around, and the Dark Monkey would just get to the boss and get pushed around and just wasn't able to use his skills a lot of the time. So yeah, that guy didn't work. So from the options I've tried, Water Mummy, definitely the best option. It's a nat 3, everyone has it by now, I hope. And yeah, that passive is just makes it OP. Pop it on Despair, pop the Huaki legendary artifact. Hey, you can even go further and put Huaki on Despair, bro. It's gonna be even better, right? And yeah, really love the team, gonna work on those runes, and we'll see what can make from it, right? And yeah, by the way, if you have any different teams that worked for you, feel free to leave a comment, right, with your summoner and the team. Hopefully it helps others who are struggling with this dungeon as well. And yeah, peace.